From deep inside the belly of Tim Hortons field, underneath the stands, the Forge Audio Network presents The Captain's Log with Kyle Becker and Mitch Houlihan, presented by Bench Brewing.
All right, Captain's Log, Season 1, Episode 6. We're back, brought to you by Bench Brewing. Here with Kyle, number 10 in your program, number 1 in your hearts, Kyle Edward Becker.
Hey, bud.
What's up?
Have you said brewing correctly?
Brewing?
It's tough. You think about it, I think you say it wrong every time. You're saying it right, but it doesn't sound good.
I also keep forgetting to look up his Bench Brewing.
See? Yeah, you think about it.
Brewing or brewery?
Brewery.
All right, anyways, but I did have an idea after the last one, for the commercial we're going to do.
Yeah.
We were talking about the 3 in the front.
3 abreast.
Bench beer, 3 in the front. So non-alcoholic beers are a big thing right now.
Are they?
Put out the driver.
Ooh.
As you were saying, 2, and then we'll find the 2 for the other ones, and then the driver.
How has no one thought of it? That's clever.
Because we're clever.
That's it.
Yeah.
All right. That's why they pay us the big bucks.
Yep. An alcohol brand, the driver.
Because drinking and driving is bad.
An inside high school joke of ours. It'll fly off the shelves.
Guy, who was that an inside joke with?
What do you mean? The whole thing? Just the 3 in the front.
Oh, I thought you meant the fly.
Sitting in the bench seat.
You phrased that like the fly off the shelves was the inside joke, and that was terrible. It's all right.
Miscommunication.
Stick and move.
No, we yeah. Stick and move. All right, so we're back in the donut box for episode 6. A couple weeks off.
Yeah.
The numbers came in.
Actually,
They're big.
come on.
No, they're not. I don't know. No, I don't know. But today's all about positivity, as always. So we're staying positive. The numbers are big. Numbers are huge.
Big boss Dave called down. We're doing good.
Yeah. Winnipeg.
Yeah.
Start off, as always, little recap. Big win in Winnipeg.
Yeah. Big 6-point weekend for Hamilton over Winnipeg. Ticats won, which was massive, and then we finally did the business at IG Field for the first time since 2019.
Really?
Hard to believe.
First win in Winnipeg since then.
Yeah. Awful. We haven't had the best track record against them, which is tough. But no, it was big. That was huge, especially in the old final push. Yeah. Tried our best to pee our pants a little bit there with that shaky going 2-1 down. Suspect call by the refs. But it is what it is. We battled back.
Oh, yeah, my guy, Debrienne.
Yeah. The old ref said...
What'd you see on that one?
I mean, G had the ball, but it is what it is. It's a quick one.
It was a bang-bang play.
Yeah, but like they're so definitively being like he didn't have possession. How can you call that?
You pulled it out anyways.
Yeah, way she goes.
Like I said before, too, you're just a big body in the wall. It's in your spot.
Yeah.
You got Bada Bangi.
Yeah.
Smashing in the... and you're
Two
just
for 2.
causing a ruckus in the wall.
Big frame.
Anything else in Winnipeg?
Yeah. Pretty much the worst travel day of all time.
Travel day?
Heading down there. Just airports. I feel like we might have talked about the airports on the old podcast before. I don't know, but I would say that
was on the episode that got cut.
Ooh. Yeah.
The entire episode that got cut.
But yeah, dude, we get there. I think we were supposed to take off at 5:30. I don't think we left till like 8 o'clock. Just getting the classic 15-minute delay at a time. They're the worst.
On the way there or back?
No, on the way there. Got there real late. Quick turnaround.
That airport story for sure got cut. Remember the
guy in Halifax?
Oh yeah.
Should we bring that one back?
I think you should tell that. Yeah.
All right.
It was a good one.
Yeah. So, not a big fan of the old airports. Not a big fan of the way the way they operate in airplanes is just questionable. People lost their mind. I think the big thing of the story was the one positive thing in flying in COVID is we somehow realized that when you get off a plane, if we just do it by rows, it's so much more efficient.
Yeah.
And you just do it by blocks and everyone sits down. Because then you avoid the flight lands and people just jump up at the back of the plane and just start flying up. So we were going out to Halifax and I was in an aisle and the guy in the aisle beside me, nice little East Coast boy, older fella, legendary accent. he was hilarious. Had the classic old school guy, had absolutely nothing on him, Plane takes off, and he was just staring at the back of the seat the entire flight. No, I don't even think he had a phone. No, nothing. Just dead stare. No chance he even reclined the seat at all. And so we land, and there's this some dude probably around our age, a little bit of a bag of milk, clearly dressed like he was gonna go play a round of golf with the boys. Like had his best polo and quarter zip on, ready to go. Literally, flight lands, and he's just like seatbelt off, and he's just grabbed his suitcase, and he's flying up, and he stops in between me and this guy, and you could just tell right away this guy wasn't having that. He was so upset, like just just doing a bunch of like huffing and puffing. So we're walking off the plane, and it was me, the guy who jumped up with the suitcase, and then the older guy behind me in like a three, and we're walking out, and the guy's just like, "Hey, what are you doing that for?" The guy just like, the young dude in the middle is just ignoring him. He's like, "Hey, I'm talking to you. What are you doing that for?" The guy's like, "Man, I gotta take a shit." And like, that's when I turned around. I just started dying laughing. I'm like, no way, this guy just used that. And the best part is the old guy's like, "Well, what do you think they have bathrooms on the plane for?" Just like, I'm pretty sure taking a dump on a plane is way worse than what he did. But yeah, that was classic.
Yeah, all-time line.
Yeah.
That's a line now.
Yeah. What are you doing that for?
Bathrooms on the plane for.
Yeah. That was classic.
All right, let's get into just a couple shout outs to start off the positivity pod.
Positive pod. What
do you got? Anything?
No, you go first.
I think we planned that you were supposed to go first. What do you got?
We're gonna go.
No, I can help you out if you need some.
Yeah. Give me some help.
I actually forget now too, though. Number one, shout out, Guelph. You ever been there?
Yeah, whereabouts?
Like just in general.
Yeah.
I didn't know about it.
I
I was there this morning. I don't know. It's nice. It's picturesque.
I think this might lead into some stuff, but is Waterdown Guelph? Or are they separate?
No, that's not Guelph at all.
They're the same thing.
Is
huh?
it close?
No.
What are you talking about?
What do you
It's
mean
like
not even close.
Waterdown, Dubdown's just north of.
Guelph is
No,
the last
yeah,
highway, bro.
Which highway?
401.
Guelph's way up there.
Way up there.
Jesus Christ.
But it's a nice little town.
Yeah?
It's like it's got a bunch of old buildings, and it's got the university, and
It's like Bruges.
also that like downtown strip during school year is definitely electric. Like there's just like in the main street, there's just like four like, you know, you got your Irish pub concept, you got your like country bar probably, like I don't know, some
Like every college
tequila
town?
club or something.
Did you play Guelph in?
No, they're in the other division.
Yes. How does that work?
And
in
I've
the old
never heard
youth
anyone
sports?
talk about like going to Guelph or anything. It's just like, I don't know, whatever. It's just nice up there.
no,
We don't
no.
need to get into it.
None of our buds went to Guelph, huh?
No. But yeah, nice little town.
Is Guelph a good school? Do we just hang out with a bunch of idiots?
The Griffins.
Like, is it a hard school to get into?
I don't know.
Yeah. Moving on.
Yeah.
What else you got?
What's your favorite city? Not that it's mine.
This guy's favorite city is Guelph. Favorite city, huh? What do I like?
All right, I'll slip a shout out in there too. Our guys, we didn't even introduce them.
Yeah.
Zach, Hawk.
Legends.
Yeah.
Hawk was telling
Always
a good
here
story
doing the
before,
thing.
before the podcast, but
Yeah.
we won't get into that.
Hawk always brings a story.
Legend. Brings
Yeah.
a smile.
Brings a smile
Positivity
before the pod.
podcast. Bring Hawk in. Everyone's laughing.
Yeah. Yeah, what else you got?
Got a fan in attendance today. Little Make-A-Wish guy over here.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
This is his big wedding week, so he wanted to come in and sit on the podcast.
Yeah. Big shout out.
Big shout out to old Marky Viola.
Oh, that's good. Brings out another shout out. BN Local. We went there last night for the old rehearsal dinner.
Oh yeah, where's that?
Great little restaurant.
Where?
Also, it's here. It's like
Guelph?
down the street. It's in Guelph.
Just down the street.
No, so listen to this. They just obviously make like the cool hipster cocktails, like change it up all the time.
What'd you get? An old fashioned?
So, listen to this.
Yeah.
The old cocktail of the day yesterday happened to be the Forged in Fire.
Come on.
So, we both ordered.
Did you make that up?
No.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I just said. So we both, not together. Like we both had the same conversation with the waitress. Like, yeah, I'll get an old fashioned, and then she's like, can I just bring the Forged in Fire to your attention? Very similar, but a lot of booze. And she was like, so maybe save it for the end of the night.
Yes. Incorrect. Okay. Can you put them all in a jug and just bring the jug to my table, please?
Yeah, so the old Forged in Fire at the BN local. Yeah, food was sharp too. But yeah, those are some thick drinks.
That's nice.
But yeah, celebrating our guy. Yeah, we can just jump down too.
I think he's gonna be we'll do a throwback shout out because the drinking you're talking
shout
about
out to drinking.
Shout out to drinking. You're talking about a thick drink. Remember back in the day, rocking a nice Camelback, playing some NHL, 50-50 ginger ale and CC in the back.
Ryan Ginger in
Easy
the back.
Hands-free drinking, buddy.
You didn't do that.
100%.
Yeah,
This guy.
Yeah.
Legendary. It's good. Nice little trick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
For those who are of age.
Yeah. So, shout out to Wedding Week and Mark's. This is our wedding gift to him. He gets to sit on the pod.
Yeah.
Don't expect anything
welcome.
on the weekend.
So,
Yeah,
pretty good.
Yeah, you're welcome. No, but we should bring up. He's going to be our resident engineer. We're going to bring him back in for chats about.
Yeah. How do you feel about the infrastructure of this stadium so far? First walkthrough under here.
Walked right into the beam right there.
Yeah. So
King
Carla.
Put together pretty
Yeah. So Carla, surprise, surprise. Mark's gonna have a goose egg on his forehead, and he's gonna look like.
King Cust for the wedding. Oh,
Nice.
look, I have hard hats written down here. So it's like DeFasco,
Ooh.
hard hats. Yeah, well,
knocking his head on that thing a lot.
he has many times.
He's got the. He's the leaderboard. Most
yeah.
knocks, most bumps.
We should we'll get you back in for some of those chats. The steel slabs, you know what happens in there. Couple
Shoveling the cock.
darts and coffees in the trailers with the boys. Work trailers, you know,
Yeah.
like The Office.
What?
Ever been on a construction site? Highly doubt it.
Yeah, when me and you made
Oh,
a deck.
That'll be later in I think season 2. That's slated
That
for.
story's gonna come out.
Build.
Yeah. Pretty good.
Okay, yeah, this is perfect. We're cooking. Just like Mark's our resident engineer here. We're the resident. Oh yeah, if anyone wants to call in, have any questions about engineering or anything, or just anything in general, Mark's a good guy.
Yeah.
Last, yeah, just a quick congrats to Mark and Carla this weekend coming up.
Boom.
Just like Mark's our resident engineer, we're the resident car guys.
Nailed it. We're on fire. You want to tell about it?
Can you think of a shout out? I'm going to read our conversation.
Yeah, I would like to give a shout out to Castrol Edge. They make some fine synthetic motor oil.
Yeah.
Used it yesterday. Got the old 10W30. Splurged, buddy. None of that 5W30 stuff.
Yeah.
Nothing but the best for the old
What was it, actually?
2015 Golf, bud.
Yeah, thanks. Took the restrictor plate off, give the Red Dragon a little more juice. But let's keep that on the down low. It's not exactly street legal.
Unreal. Are you gonna read the old exchange, or are you just gonna move on?
Oh yeah. And I feel like we got to preface this you're a worse car guy than me for sure.
I would
I'm
actually say
real
you're a pretty
car
good car guy.
I can change a spark plug.
Yeah,
know what Kenny U-Pole is? I actually called them last week.
Kenny Oops?
Looking for a window regulator.
Oh, dude. First off, before we get into that, is that because of when we were pulling into the Labor Day game and you ripped your window out?
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
So this dude, he picks me up. We're ripping down, coming down into Hamilton to make the tailgate before the Labor Day game. And he's like, it is sweltering. And we're just windows up. And I'm looking, I'm like, guys, so what are we doing here? He's like, no, it can only crack it a little bit. Windows are broken. It's fine. You just pull it down. So like, all right, whatever. The AC's kind of kicking in. We're good. We're making it. We're pulling into the parking lot, and this guy's like gearing up to pay the guy to get in. And he's like, just as he's turning, he's taking a left turn, trying to pull the window down. Pulls it. The window just goes full sideways and rips into the door. And he's like, whoa, that's not good. So I was like, all right, I get out of the car and physically get the ticket and pay the guy. Meanwhile, this guy's just in the thing, just jamming it around. We're fine. Actually we skirted that one, so it was okay. Window got back up, but
Yeah, you just push her back up.
So what else?
There's just like a triangle of the core window sticking out.
Somehow it didn't shatter, which was the best part.
Yeah.
But so what old Kenny Oops have to say about the old regulator? You got to turn her over?
You just got to find a lot with the car you need and go get your part.
What, you got to like steal it?
Yeah, you go in and get your own part.
So if your car gets towed, it's just like, or is this like a just an
No,
empty
it's
lot?
not like a tow lot where like like you get
That'd
towed
be
for
pretty-
parking and then
that'd be pretty
better
sweet.
come quick because
No,
people
not
are coming in
that's
to
not what I'm
steal your
saying.
parts.
It's just like this car just shows up and like it's just like a lot.
it's a car,
just,
it's a car junkyard, auto yard.
Is that what Kenny U-Pull is? It's a car
yeah,
yard.
yeah.
So you can just
Get
pull
scrap
up.
parts,
Yeah.
car parts.
The name's Zelensky. I make car parts for the American working man because that's what I am, and that's who I care about.
Kenny Youp's car parts. Did you go and pick some up?
Nah, no.
You had
Not
nothing?
yet. It's still fine. Oh yeah, the car stuff. So this is the brilliant exchange we had yesterday. Started off in the group chat first.
Yeah. Then we
You
had
guys ever top your oil up yourself? Got the old check oil level light. That's different from oil change, you know? Then Lee goes, like, do an oil change or just pour some in? Pete used to do that, I remember, like just pop some in. And then I go, all the time. And then you go,
with all that enthusiasm.
feel like I just need a top suey. I got some KMs before the next change. Yeah, just dump a whole bottle in there. What kind of stuff I need? And then I think, I don't know, so later when you're actually getting into the mechanic stuff. All right, what kind of stuff do I need? I don't know, look her up. Probably your standard 50-30 W.
Yeah.
And then a couple other things. Oh, yeah. Where am I dumping this oil?
Because I was asking before I actually like popped the hood and looked at it.
Yeah.
So
I know.
I need a little reference.
Yeah, that part makes it sound worse. But
Yeah.
I was, but my response wasn't the most technical. Just in the circle,
But
because obviously expect everyone to know what a oil cap looks like.
Well, to be fair, I had no idea when you sent the picture of what the oil cap
Okay.
was going to be.
Yeah.
I was shocked to know that it was literally identical to what you sent. I didn't know it was like a car by car thing. I didn't know what it was going to be. Like they're all the exact same. They got the same.
Car talk. All right, just in the circle, twist off right atop the engine, probably near the dipstick. He goes, all right, I'm not under the hood yet. I'll let you know. Just picked up the Astro Glide.
Oh man, sweating.
And I sent a picture of the cap.
Yeah.
You're looking for this. Do I gotta f around with the dipstick? Nah. How much am I dumping? And then I check the dipstick. Is it empty? Take her out, wipe it off, dunk it again, and see how far up she is. Yellow thing, the stick.
Oh man.
Yeah. LOL. It was like a drip on the tip.
It was nothing, baby.
And I said,
I'm sweating.
my guy used to legit turn the bottle upside down and just let her dump. Like 2 full ones. So pour in pour the entire guy. That's 1 liter. It takes like at least 5. Just dump her. There you go. Car guy, crushing it. If the light's gone, I'm going to feel great about this. And then just car guys.
Turned her on, light was gone. Dude, the best part is I walked out and so the car was on the street and I grabbed like a little cloth because I just assumed I was gonna be spilling shit everywhere, but I just popped her in the back pocket. Car guy. Like 100% walking out, pop that back there. Everyone's gonna pop the hood. Everyone's gonna drive by. Car guy. He knows what he's doing. Change his oil on the street.
Oil on your
I just wiped it on my face. Oh, I've been working so hard all day. Classic.
You know what? When it works out, it works out. We're clicking today.
Yeah.
Look at this next point. So what's the last shout out?
I got nothing.
Last shout out.
Oh, we
I
talked
even
about
tell you
this.
that?
You talked about this.
Yeah.
We got to shout out our boy Jackie. Absolutely crushing it at the old Sens golf tourney. Long drive.
Yeah.
Legend.
Got invited. Whatever. We were up there. So then they sprung it on him. He was doing the old ceremonial tee off for the whole
Yeah.
tourney. Like anyway, so right before I was texting you. Remember the line that like and Jack loved? I always tell him this is the line that you sent like the last time. Hey, buddy, pressure's for tires.
Car guys.
Because you're a car guy.
That's it.
No
dude.
such thing as
This is
pressure.
just-
Pressure's for tires.
Pressure's for tires. That's unbelievable. The thing is, though, if I had to do that ceremonial tee off, I would have been peeing down the leg.
Yeah,
Guy,
that's-
all those TSN cameras behind him, the whole Sens team, the front office is up there, and this guy just struts up and just yabos.
Yeah. So
What a beauty.
yeah. But yeah, that'll take us into some chats. Unless you got some more shout outs. I think that was it.
No, that's good. We're good.
That's the chat that we've been having the last couple weeks.
Positivity.
A little bit of always positivity.
Yeah,
But
big positive, guys.
bit of
I would love a top up for this.
bit of
On that?
coffee.
Boys behind the cameras, you guys want a
Sure.
nice, refreshing Tim Hortons coffee?
yeah, extra grinds in mine, please.
Can't take this guy anywhere. So the getting some chats kind of similar to last week. Like what were we talking about last week? More leadership stuff. What's different? What are you doing different now than before? But this is a good chat we've had the last couple weeks. Just kind of pressure, kind of just dealing with the preparation, with like the day to day and stuff.
Like the longevity of a season, I think is a
Right.
tough one.
Yeah, it was just getting
Yeah,
everywhere.
I think and then just like looking back at myself, it's like we've talked about before. When you first make that jump, you're going to be one of the important guys on whatever team you're on. You're counted on. You're playing probably big minutes. You're relied on. You're playing week in and week out, and you're confident. You believe in yourself. All that stuff. You're feeling great. You make the jump. The second you don't necessarily start playing week in and week out, first thing you do, a little doubt creeps in. Obviously, a little bit of frustration, and I think at times when you get caught pointing the finger, you end up missing like clear opportunities that you can have to just all the things that are going on throughout the course of a season within a team, and you miss
Like
that
opportunities,
chance, like to get big minutes just because of things that are happening. So the big one for me in hindsight, and it's one that I've told guys on this team for sure, and over the 4 years we've been playing, is like you're not necessarily a starter in the beginning of the season, but like just see it out. You never know what happens. Guys, when you have bigger rosters, guys move on. Guys get traded. Guys go to different teams. Maybe if you're not doing so great, a new coach comes in, and like that can just be enough to give you a new lease on life, because you never know how it goes. A coach might like you over this kind of player for whatever reason, even before you've done anything in training. But injuries and suspensions are like the biggest thing, and you never know when they happen. And it's crazy for, like, you look at our team in our league with such small rosters. Every single player, whether they're playing a lot in the beginning or not, like the starting lineup is going to change drastically throughout the course of a season. And I think we had the perfect example of this coming into this last game against Winnipeg, but even against the last home game against Calgary. And it's you have guys who U21, we need U21 minutes. So if you're a younger guy and you haven't really been playing, like, you're going to get a chance, whether it's 15 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever it is. Like, be ready to take that chance. And have you been doing everything you need to be doing throughout the season so far, so that when you get your chance, there's no one to turn around and be like, you're checking all the boxes, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like the big one for us, thank you, was you get a guy in Kwesi who gets a red card in Vancouver. So you know for a fact the defender, he's not there. Next 2 games, he's done for sure. Dom goes down against Calgary, center back. Does his calf. We don't really know what it is at the time, but like he goes down injured. You never know how long he's going to be out for. You're another center back. Garvin was with the national team at the time. You're a young guy. You're a defender. You're like, this is my chance. You have to have that best week of training that you've had all year to show that you're ready, because with 4 or 5 games left, you come in, you put a performance. When we're in need of wins and all of these things, you potentially could be seeing yourself into playing time the rest of the season, and all of a sudden you're playing the most important games with the most eyes on you, going into the playoffs, potentially starting and playing in a playoff game. And it's like, those things I think can get lost in the shuffle, because you're a young guy, you want to show up, you're like, I want it now. And like, you want it now in the 3rd game of the season. But in hindsight, if you're like, if I was just doing the right stuff and I got 75 minutes in this game and I was fit and I did everything and I was great. Okay, you can excuse sharpness if you haven't been playing. That's fine. But if you're not fit, you're cramping, you're doing all this stuff, it's like you will realize a year, 2 years, 3 years down the road, like you're the one to blame for that. And that's just tough. And it's like I look back on certain performances that I had and it's like I'm not happy about how I played, but then it was like, was I, for the month or two leading up to it, just pointing the finger, being like, oh, poor me, I'm not playing, I'm better than this guy, yada, yada, yada. But am I doing all the stuff to make sure that when I get that chance, I just take it?
Right, and it's that like staying ready for it, like, because it's also like, I mean, it's natural too. Like if you when you get that shot and you mess it up,
Someone else's fault.
Yeah, it's like, well, you know, it's
I
like,
wasn't playing.
Yeah.
If I was playing every single week, I would have been fit, or I would have done this. And it's and I'm
Which
only saying that because I've been guilty of it.
Like everyone, yeah.
It's, and it's the worst. And yeah, part of it is you have to go through it and you have to fall on your face, and then you have to have like the self-awareness to look back and be like, yep, hand up, I need to do that better. And then you make those changes, and you see it in any locker room with older guys who you're like, how is this guy still doing this? He's never really been a starter, but it's like the way he conducts himself, he's so professional, he's there. And then and then the season ends, it's like, oh well, he played 20 games. Like that's still a huge chunk, and especially if you're a good team, you need guys who come off the bench and are willing to do a job. And it's crazy. I think back to the year I've had in San Fran, and we had this guy Greg Jordan. He wasn't the best player ever, but he was so professional in what he did, and just his attitude showing up. I never knew the guy, I never knew where he was before that or anything, but just like how he showed up, how he conducted himself, how serious he was about everything he did. I was kind of like, oh, I can't be like playing every single week and like this guy's just doing this and like I'm not doing the little stuff. Yeah. And it was the craziest because beginning of every season, every coach comes in, it's like, oh, you got to do all the right stuff. If you do all the right stuff, you're gonna play. More times than not, a coach is gonna be like, all right, I need to win. I'm gonna go with my guys. Like it's not there's no fair play award. Just because you do all the right stuff doesn't mean you're gonna get rewarded. But
it's hard not to think that the coach is like thinking about you as much as you do yourself too. You're like, obviously you just put yourself as like the,
and at the end of the day, if he's not winning, his job's on the line. So it's like he's obviously gonna look out for his best self or what he thinks is best for the group too. But I remember we were going into an Open Cup game, and our coach at the time, Mark DeSantos, was like out of nowhere. He hadn't, I think it might have been like 10 games into the season or something. Greg had probably not even played a minute, and it was like, Greg, you're starting, and he gave him the armband. And we had an older group, and everyone was like, that was a move. Like we respected that. Yeah. And it just showed that like you do all the right stuff and you get rewarded. In the group that we had, it was like it was necessary for us. And then you had guys who kind of like put their ego at the door and came in and just did the business. And it was just one of those ones that kind of I think took us to a bigger level as a group. Yeah. And it was just cool. It was cool to see.
I'm sure there's a lot of guys that like, I mean, you've played with a lot of crazy vets that have been around the game. I mean, Eddie's like number one, but it was over the course, like you've had a ton. Are those guys saying anything to like to you? Like, is there any that you like remember that, you know what I mean?
I remember,
because like like you said, everyone wants to succeed. So it's like the older guys, you know, that like want you to do that. It's funny. What are they saying when you're just like pissing around?
It feels even ridiculous that like I'm gonna say it, but Drogba in Montreal gave me like a crazy chat, and it was when I was being like hands down the worst. It was that season. It was the last season I had in Montreal. I had great parts of the year. I think there was times when I was fantastic. I was playing, and we had a good group. There was a lot of ups and downs. We went through just like I think we were pretty streaky as a team, just in terms of like how everyone was as a group and like the results that we got. And then towards the end of the season, it was one of those ones where I went from playing, I was in the 18 all the time, I was starting for a large portions of it, and then I just kind of like fell out. And when I fell out, 100% my reaction was poor, and I kind of chucked it, and I just got like mad. And it was me, just I stopped doing all the stuff that was giving me all the success, and I just had all this, like I was pointing the finger, I was blaming whatever. And then I had an opportunity for sure to get back in the thing, but because I wasn't the sharpness I think I showed poorly and whatever. And I remember he pulled me after, it was actually on a night out one time, and he just like said, you cannot let them win and dictate what you're doing. And it's like it's so simple, and it's not rocket science. It's just true. It was like I let them win, and it was like, and at the end of the day, the worst thing. And so many, I think, young people hear this all the time, but it's like I gave them when a coach is looking for like the easy excuse not to play a guy when you have like a lot of depth in the team, and you start throwing your hands, your body language is trash, you're doing all the stuff, you're not necessarily doing all the little things right. It's like that's the easiest thing. So you go and you knock on the door and it's like, well, have you done this? And you're sitting there as a player, and you're like,
Yeah, like you just make it easy.
Yeah.
Make it easy for them to not play.
yeah, I gave them every reason not
Yeah.
to do it. So then it was like, in hindsight, it's like that was the worst, and that sucked. And then to hear a guy like that in the dressing rooms, the games, everything that he's done and achieved and been in, and to say it and like to have the wherewithal to tell a young little Canadian kid at the time was like, that was special.
Yeah, yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Did you actually like from the Drogba chat?
Oh yeah. Well, the thing was, I mean, I wish I had more time, but like there's a huge change because that's when it was towards the end of the season, so I ended up getting released.
Yeah.
There wasn't after that. There was for sure a change in attitude. Still was upset naturally, but I never really had an opportunity to get back in it because it was like very close to our little playoff push.
Yeah. Was that end of that season?
Yeah.
Trade to Dallas?
Yeah. No. After that, I got released, and then it was San Fran the next year. So there was like nothing I could do. It was the second year in Montreal.
You went to Dallas before Montreal?
Yeah.
Where was I? Nah, just kidding.
Yeah, classic. Keep that in there. But yeah, no, it was that was a big one. And then honestly, it hit even harder because that January, like the phone stops ringing, and you're like, ooh, maybe I'm not as good as I thought I was, and all these things. And then you go to San Fran and really have to reignite the old fire to see if you can make it. So that was a big one. Stuck with me for sure, just in terms of like doing the right stuff all the time.
Yeah.
And no one's perfect. You're always gonna have a day when you show up and you legitimately cannot kick a ball and you stink, but it's like, what are you still gonna get out of it? And like big one I was even thinking about the other day, it's like we got such a young group and guys who want to go on and achieve special stuff and play at a higher level, but it's like if you could just ask yourself like one little thing, like have I done or what did I do today to deserve like a shot at somewhere higher? And like actually ask yourself.
Yeah.
I think a lot of times, I'm not just saying like this group, I just think as like a whole, like a global picture. It's like, you probably didn't do enough. Just take it 24 hours at a time.
That's probably a fair question for
Yeah.
most people, anything that you're doing.
Yeah. And it's like I put myself in the same chat. Like it's hard to do the same over and over at a very high level, especially when you don't get a gold star at the end of the day.
Right.
So it's like, but if you can ask yourself and you can ask yourself honestly, have I done enough or what did I do today to deserve something bigger than this?
Yeah.
Start checking those boxes off. Eventually you're going to be successful
Yeah.
in whatever you do.
Yeah, it's kind of like everyone who makes it to this level is in kind of the same boat where it's like your talent takes you pretty much to here.
Mm-hmm.
So then it's like at some point it's like that switch where it's other things. It's like that when it switches to a job and you're like just figure the talent's still going to take you the same places that it did before, be the number one guy, like, you know?
I mean, think again. We played together for very long in our youth careers, playing for like Oakville, and you played for Oakville for years after I'd left. But like, how many guys we played with and against that were unbelievable?
Yeah.
Never did anything.
Yeah.
And that goes down to so many things. It's like, who did they have looking out for them to maybe like show them that we can open this door at the next level, whatever it may be. Whether they went to a school that probably wasn't the best thing for them, whether they chose not to go to school and went a different route and it just didn't work out. There's so many reasons, and there's other guys who are just like, this is stupid, I'm done, who are unbelievable players.
Yeah.
And there's guys who I've played with who I've thought were awful at soccer, but they were very professional in everything they did, and they went in the game and they were absolute competitors, and that's valuable. There's so many different ways to do this, and there's so many different, like, that's why I think this sport is unbelievable versus other ones. Like, I think you can just be an absolute brute, but like you can have an IQ and you can be an unbelievable defender and you can be the best communicator and whatever, and be so valuable to teams. But it comes down to if you want to do it or not at the end of the day.
It's funny having these chats, because now like even I'm like this is a callback to our you remember the segment helpful or harmful. So like, think of when you were playing this is the one for me, because honestly, like even back then, obviously, like we're just watching you every week, and it's the same, like for us watching you, it's like it's like professional sports is so crazy. It's all like luck and timing, and like you place like all the importance on that. Like I remember that one. I mean, I think with TFC you hit the post like 7 million times, so it was always just like I feel like a couple inches, like that. You know, makes a or like that Colorado game. You hit the post twice, like both on set pieces, right?
And like towards the end of the game too.
And for so long, I was like, pop those couple in against Colorado, you're there, you know?
Yeah, but the biggest thing is, okay, great performance. The ball didn't go my way, but like, what did I do maybe on that Monday after that game to solidify more?
Yeah, thanks for making my point.
That's what I look back now. And it's like, yeah, we 100%. I got caught up in that. You're like, oh, it's like poor me. Oh, if this happened, everything would have been different. But the reality is like, did you show up and do your job the next day after you had a little bit of success, or did you think you're a little better than you might have been? Yeah, got a little too fun. Started to have a little bit too many party taps. Started going. Yeah, no, it was good.
Yeah, I mean, and that's, I don't know, everything in moderation. You have a couple 1 hour sleeps and practice in the morning, but maybe not as many.
Hey, cut those down. I haven't slept through training, so
but
we're good.
They were all for learning purposes. You can share your wisdom.
Yeah, we're better for it.
We're better.
This is the captain's log. We're better for it, and we're positive.
3 in the front.
That's it.
All right. Big win. On to the playoffs. How do you feel about the rest of the season?
Good. Great. Excited.
We're going to put up another microwave plate for sure.
Yeah, got to start her up. Got to get the old dinner set. We got to get it complete. We almost have a full family.
Not bad. All right. Yeah, I think that's it. Thanks for hanging out. We'll see you again next week.
That's it.
We got any guests coming up? Big guests. Drogba. He's coming through next week.
I think he's going to sit right here.
And it's going to smell great down here.
Oh, that's facts. Best smelling player of all time. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Thanks for listening.
This was The Captain's Log with Kyle Becker and Mitch Houlihan, presented by Bench Brewing. The guys will drop another episode sometime, whenever they get to it. In the meantime, we would love and appreciate for you to like, follow, subscribe, click on the little bell, do all the things in all the places you get entertained, and you'll find more of this type of content. And that also means we get to spend more time together on the Forge Audio Network.